Good job hanging in there with me. I hope that you find this very helpful. This really changed my life when I learned this model. It changed the way I parent, changed the way I relate to people, and even to myself to have this language. So increase and improve our emotional literacy and our understanding our needs and having a language for it so we can identify it and be able to attend to it. So the next emotional need that we have is called protect me. Oh, I'm sorry, not protect me. Protect me. Oh my goodness. Okay, so protect me is essentially where I guard your heart. So it's not just the big, it's not the kind of protection where we protect our children from stranger dangers and the harmful things in our environment and in life and situations. But with this, what we're doing is we're also guarding their heart. And what that means is we're not doing anything intentional to shame them, to embarrass them, humiliate them, hurt them, belittle them, be unkind to them, be unloving to them. We are being very intentional with our words and our actions so that we are mindful that if I say this, it's going to really hurt them or it's going to be unloving, so I'm not going to say that. Like you might have had the experience before where you have someone in your life that you love, but you may not feel like you love them at that moment. And you might be very angry and you might want to say, I hate you, in the anger, but you keep yourself from doing that because you know that that's not a loving or kind thing to do or appropriate to do when you're in a relationship with someone. So you just guard your mouth and you guard from saying things, calling names and cussing and belittling because you know the impact that's going to have on their heart. Another example is that you don't go around and tell things to other people that's embarrassing for someone. If you know that it's embarrassing for them or it's private for them, you may be intentional about not revealing that or sharing that because you are guarding their heart. However, a lot of people don't do that. And what they'll do is they'll think it's funny that their child is distressed or embarrassed. And the kid's really embarrassed about something. And the parent will go, oh, look at this. They're embarrassed. Look at, what they did. And they'll tell them all these stories. The kid's like, no. I see this a lot on TikTok videos where you have parents that are going through drive-thrus or they're somewhere and they intentionally embarrass their child. And the child's in the car and you can just see the devastation on them. Like they just want to curl down. They are not okay. Like it's not even a little okay. Like they are not okay. And that parent continues and looks at them and just thinks it's so entertaining. This is cruel in my opinion. I think it's very cruel to do that to a child. And what we know from attachment theory is that is violating their emotional need and it breaks that secure attachment. So then you have the kid ends up hating their parent and the parent goes, hey, let's do something. The kid doesn't want to go with them. And then the parent's mad at them because why are you treating me like that? Why don't you love me? Why aren't you with me? And because it's not, that kid's like, I'm not going with you because you devastate me. You don't guard my heart and you're not attuned. Like you're not seeing how that action affects me. You're not seeing how your behavior and your feelings affect me. And when we can't see that and we can't reflect on that, we're unable to create a physically and psychologically safe relationship, safe environment. So it's very important that we tune into that. And if you see your child squirming and getting embarrassed and not wanting you to do something, then tone it down. We can tone it down. We can switch gears. We can go, okay, I won't do that. Just be respectful, like you would like it to be for you, and not use it as a form of entertainment or ridicule, antagonizing as a form of being entertained. It's really destructive to a child. It's shame-bound humor and it's shame-bound play. And so the kid, it's traumatizing. It can be traumatizing too. So you really want to be careful of that. Some families have created that culture where that's what they do and they find it entertaining and they just survive, but they're not surviving very well. and they're not forming very healthy relationships after that, where they have more of those characteristics, so they're not able to get to a level of intimacy that's possible for them. So we want to just turn this on, be aware of, gosh, I know that they're probably not going to like me share this, so I'm not going to. Or they're probably going to be really embarrassed, or they are struggling in this area, so I'm not going to throw them in this situation. So let's say you know that your child is sensory sensitive and they have a hard time with loud noises, they have a hard time with lots of lights, and they are tired, it's been a stressful week, and you're going into a situation and you know it's going to be loud noises, like let's say it's a hockey game or a basketball game, or it's a big family event. You might choose not to take your kid to that and expose them because they're just not in a place that week to be resilient for that event. So you are anticipating their needs, you're thinking ahead, and you are being very mindful of how they experience things inside. Now, we are adults now, and we're doing emotional sobriety. So now we're not staging it for the outside to do it right. As a child, we needed them to do that. But as adults, we now can be intentional about creating that environment for us. So what that means is, let's say you have a week that has been very stressful. You've had a lot of challenges. You're really tired. You've been really stressed. You dealt with a lot of hard things. And there's this big event and they need volunteers. You're going to choose not to volunteer, even though you want to and you like to, and under normal circumstances you will. You're pacing yourself and you're going, I just think that's going to be a bit much for me. So just like a parent would think about their child, like they're really tired, so I might hold off and make sure they get some rest. Or they're hungry, and so they may be having, being a little more sensitive and moody because they need some food. So you go and you get some food. You know that if you disclose something in a situation where it's not really safe to disclose it, and you know you're going to have an emotional hangover afterwards, you might select not to disclose it with that situation, but you might in another that's more supportive and helpful. So you're being very intentional about how you support your own heart and what is well and best for you, given the circumstances that you're in, the day that you're in, what's life like right now, and you're adjusting depending on what you need and going from there. My daughter this weekend, her and I were going to get together, and she's just really she's in college and working and just doing all this stuff. And today we're going to shopping, and that fatigues her. And so I know that, and she's like, okay, Mom, I'll go. And there she's taking care of my needs because she knows that I enjoy doing that with her. And so she has a tendency to want to do that. And we're both practicing emotional sobriety now. So I'm freeing her from that relational contract that she has to do mother-daughter things with me the way I dream. And instead I said, honey, what's going to fuel your soul today? What do you need? She goes, oh, my body's so tired. So, well, what is your body saying to you? And she goes, well, it's saying I need rest. And I said, okay, well then take some rest. We can do it another time. And so she did. That's how we are good attending adults to ourselves. So this is protect me, guard my heart. What was that like for you? Did that not work for you? Did your loved ones not guard your heart? Did it become a way that people joke around and mock each other and stuff, or not? So if you are someone that this has been a way that you approach relationships and people are not liking it, then we want to say, oh, there's a reason that they're not liking it, and I need to correct this behavior, this habit that I've developed from my life growing up. And and then we just want to be attentive to that with other people as well. So that is Protect Me. And now we're going to go on to the next one.